Hi, friends. It's another week of the new reality we're experiencing, and I wish I could say that it's coming to a close. I don't think it is quite yet, but I do think that we are moving in the right direction, and that gives me some experiences of hope. I hope you as well. This past week, I've spoken to lots of folks, and many, I think, are spent, feeling pretty overwhelmed and pretty tired of this new reality. And so I wanted to talk for just a minute today about resiliency. Resiliency is the reality that our lives are not defined by hardship or difficult times, but in fact, while difficult times affect us, they don't define us. And that if we can prompt our spirit to respond in new ways, we can in fact grow past difficult, challenging times. So I heard this talk this week and wanted to share just a couple points about resiliency. The first is that suffering is a part of life. Suffering is a part of life. We know this to be true. We've been fortunate in the United States, at least, to not have war on our own land, to not have terrible disruptions of our lives. And many of us have been very fortunate, and we've not experienced a great amount of suffering. But this is an illusion, right? Because every life has suffering, and all lives experience times of loss and deprivation and challenge and struggle. It would be unrealistic to think that we would escape unscathed from suffering in our lives. And we know that Jesus suffered greatly. We've just experienced Holy Week, and he was abandoned and betrayed and lost his life. And so times of suffering are part of the human experience. So to recognize that we're not going to have a life where there isn't any suffering. We will experience suffering in each of our lives. And the second point is that we need to choose where we put our attention, focus on what we can change, and don't lose what we have to what we've lost. So choose where to put your attention. And I think at least this past week, several people have been talking to me about that they're bored. And I understand this. This is, for many people, this is a time of doing nothing, right, on purpose in order to protect others. Many people are very busy trying to keep up with what's been thrown at them. But I think that sense of either being bored or feeling stuck or feeling overwhelmed or having negative thoughts, feelings of sadness, but also these negative thoughts that kind of roll around in our minds of the suffering that we're having. And so the challenge there is to make sure to choose where to put your attention. And so that means actually thinking what we're thinking about and paying attention to what we're attending to so that it doesn't define us and it doesn't manage us, but we manage it. And so in those times, it might be just important to kind of break your chain of thought, to begin to listen to good music. I love music. So either music that's very comforting or music that's very reassuring, music that reminds you of a very happy time in your life, to interrupt your thoughts. Where does your attention go? So that it's not just this constant repetition of things you're worried about or things you're overwhelmed by. Because there are a lot of things in this experience that we cannot control. And so to attend to the things that we can control. And the third is to ask yourself the question, is what I'm doing helping or harming me? Is what I'm doing helping or harming me? Now, in AA, they have a great way of saying it. What is the next right thing to do? What's the next right thing to do? And for me, at least, much of that is kind of simply said with get up. When I'm overwhelmed or feeling pretty heavy, it might just be as simple as getting up and brushing your teeth, getting up and getting dressed, getting up and making the bed, getting up and cleaning up, getting up and doing the dishes or doing the laundry. This sense of what behavior can I do that will in fact bring me in the right direction, that will help me to manage what I'm experiencing with the level of control that I have available to me. Not everything is in my control, but I can in fact impact how I respond to the circumstances that have come to me. And that's what's within the realm of my control. And so it might be that I simply need to get up. It might be that I need to pray and to ask God to help me with how overwhelmed I'm feeling. It also might be that you could reach out to someone who is in need. I have a phrase saying on my wall, there is always, always, always something to be thankful for. There's always something to be thankful for. And that reminds us that in the midst of everything, we have the power to influence how we think about our circumstances. And so to find moments of gratitude, or times to be able to reach out to those who are in dire need or in more concern. There's usually someone who's having a difficult time, and can I be used? Can I take my attention off of myself and my circumstances and put it onto someone else who might be in need as well? So those are just a few brief thoughts. We'll be keeping you in prayer, hoping that you're doing okay, and we'll talk to you soon.